We're now on Live 365 and Ustream.com. Just search WICR and like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/WICR Iona College Radio.
Good morning. Welcome back to Monday mornings here on WICR. It is Halloween 2016. I am in scrubs, as you can see, and finally Facebook Live is working. For those that noticed I wasn't on, noticed that we weren't on Facebook Live, I posted the videos to my page and I tagged Kate in it, so you could always watch them later if you'd like. But now we're going to head to Kate to talk about Dancing with the Stars and a recent conference you attended.
Yeah, so the recent conference that I attended was the S.H.E Summit in New York City. It's a women's leadership conference. It's the CEO is Claudia Chan. This has been going on for 5 years. You know, they had a lot of great speakers. I mean, the 2016 speakers included Kelly Clarkson, Patina Miller, who plays Daisy on Madam Secretary. You have you have a couple editors in chiefs. You know, you've got Gabby Bernstein, an author. You have, Chloe, who's a vegan chef who was on, Cupcake Wars. You have Wade Davis, who is a former NFL player. You have, big name stars. You've got my favorite probably was Raw Goddess. She's awesome. But you have, it was presented by Morgan Stanley, Prudential, Motrin, Bacardi. We're all big sponsors of it. And, I was lucky enough that I was able to go to this event. So a little things that we talked about was that when Claudia came out first, she said, we have an extraordinary purpose in our life to, that we're created for like this massive greatness of like uplifting others and to have, and having the gender equality movement, which the projected goal for women and men to be equal is 2030, but they don't think that will happen. So it really needs to start with the younger generation to start bringing us to start having men and women become equal, which is huge.
No, I mean, I've always felt strongly about this. I always wondered why, why women aren't being paid equally as men.
I think they said it was 78 cents still that is the pay gap, which people are like, oh, it's 78 cents, but 78 cents
that adds up.
It adds up that you're not making the same amount as a man, which is annoying.
Certainly isn't right. And then what's the other thing? That women don't really have the same jobs. We're slowly getting there.
Right. We were talking about one of them. I think it was the conference. It was the one sponsored by Bacardi that he had his like marketing person there who's on the I think it's like the world like team or something, or I don't know. But on that team, she's the only female. So he's like, but you have to push it. The CEO of Bacardi was like, you have to push it upon other people to make them have women on big panels and everything. Yeah. Another thing that we talked about was leadership. Something that, leadership is something that you do every single day. And it's not something, and it can have a real impact on others. And leadership, like most people think, I'm in charge. This is what we're doing.
Right.
That's how it's going to be. But Gala Darling, who talked about how to amplify your leadership and through radical self-love. She's, I think, an author. She said that, because I'm a crazy person and took notes the entire time on the conference.
That's good, though.
But she said leadership is an open dialogue and can inspire and encourage other people. And it's just not bossing other people around. It's to make, help other people and to encourage people and to inspire others to do what you do. And one of my favorite things that, came out of this was the Women in Progress, which is presented by Motrin, was one of my favorite panels to listen to. Not that I didn't love Kelly Clarkson's panel for Citizen Watch, which is another sponsor. She was funny. She was hilarious. If you are friends with me on Facebook, go and take a look at my Facebook Live that I did of her the other day. Literally, she talks for the entire 25, 40 minutes of the panel. She's a very funny person.
Quick question: Did you get a picture with Kelly Clarkson?
No,
Or
I
they,
didn't.
They didn't allow that.
You
then?
could have like a lot of this. So what happened is it's at the 92nd Street Y. So they had like it was in this big it was in this big like room. And then you had what was it? Then you had the then you could go into like the backspace, like there was like a bathroom and everything, and then they had like all these sponsors there. And a lot of the times, like a lot of the speakers would stay there just because Kelly Clarkson's a big person. They tried to get her in and out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's understandable.
That she was pretty famous. But I did get to meet and they had like a panel that was about like roles that like females have in like male dominated worlds. I met three-time world heavyweight champion Adeline Gray. She's a professional wrestler, woman wrestler.
Yeah, I think I've heard of her. Yeah.
She was in the Olympics.
Okay.
So it's cool that you get to meet an Olympic wrestler. I met the CEO, Claudia Chan. She's a very nice person. But the Women in Progress, like it was like pain to like how to like move pain to progress, and that was something that was pretty inspiring because it's just everybody had such a different story about pain and how they use that pain to progress them into their next phase of their life.
Right.
Which is every woman should hear that. Not just every woman. It's every man could hear. Every person needs to hear that you can change that one little thing into becoming a bigger person and becoming a better person. And it doesn't matter. Like one of them talked about, it doesn't matter your shape or your size or anything. It really should be about you as a person, and no one should take that away, which I thought was another awesome thing. Another thing that they talked about was the purple purse. I don't know if you know what the purple purse is.
I've heard of it. I don't know.
It's presented by Allstate. I have the charm on my book bag, like my backpack for school. It says you can help end domestic violence and financial abuse. A lot of these women who are in domestic violence, who are in a domestic, violence relationship or an abusive relationship can't get out because they can't financially support themselves, so they stay. But what the purple purse does, it's presented by Allstate. They have money that they can pay for, that it's free, that these women don't have to pay for this service. It's free. So everyone should donate to this because it helps get women out of an abusive relationship, and they pay for the lawyer. They pay for stuff to make sure that they can get out and, start a new life.
That's a really great service or program that they have.
Yeah, it brought attention to like, to me, like I knew about domestic violence, but some of the people who told their stories, it's heart-wrenching to hear about what they've been through in their life, how they've gotten through that. And, with us is like, who don't have those problems, that we should be donating to people like that to help other,
certainly.
Especially as a woman, to help others get out of that situation, because if you were in that situation, you would want somebody to help you as well. So
certainly
it was good to have. There was a lot of men in the audience too. Well, I was surprised that there was a halfway decent amount of men. I think it's because they also had a full panel of men and talked about these issues, and that we're supporting women, which is not that all men don't. It's just some of them tend to go the other way.
Right.
But I think it was an awesome event. I mean, I can't wait to go again next year. It's definitely a very different, it's a different setup and event. They do these panels and then you talk, then you have like a half an hour break, then you go back and listen to panels, but the panels were never boring, and they never were saying, okay, this is what we're doing. It was very much, you could, if you didn't want to listen to one, you could get up and walk out. You could go walk around.
That's a good setup.
It was not like you had to like, okay, well, the doors are locked. You can't go.
Right. Okay.
You can't leave. It was very much an open, talkative environment. People were there. I met an Iona alum while I was there. She's a PR. She works at a PR firm, and she was like, so it's like a great networking experience as well. I think it definitely, it would be good for more college students to go as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you saw an Iona alum, because, pretty much anywhere you go, there's at least
Right.
one person that either went to Iona, knows someone that goes to Iona. Sometimes I'll be in Grand Central, I'll have an Iona sweater on or a cap, and I'll be like, "Oh, my friend goes to Iona." Like it's great.
It's a small world.
Yeah, it is, and our gals are slowly and quickly moving the world. So
It's a good-
use
it's a good
use
input.
hashtag move the world.
Yeah, and so it was cool.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's cool.
it was very cool. Like I live tweeted from the event. One of my favorite quotes from the event was "Be unapologetically you," which was from Cindy Whitehead. It's being unapologetically you is like you shouldn't have to apologize for the way that you are,
Right.
for the way that you are,
Yeah.
which I think is something that some people are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but you shouldn't have to apologize
No.
because this is who you are, and if somebody
Yeah.
can't understand that, then they shouldn't be in your life.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
having those toxic they did talk about having a toxic relationship and friendship, and those were ones that you had to, just say, this is a toxic environment. This is not progressing me to the next level. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that like I had realized before, that if you have a toxic relationship, you need to move forward from that.
Right.
But some people still don't understand that you do have, this having a toxic relationship can really, impact your, life, and it can certainly bring you down, and it can bring you, or it could bring you up. But it's, other women shouldn't be putting down other women. It took us, many years to be able to vote.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be putting down other women or telling them that they're,
Yeah.
not pretty enough or not smart enough. And those are things that other women do to other women. And I think that was important that they touched upon as well.
Yeah, no, it certainly needs to change whether it's the workforce or anything in general, that women should be the same, that equal pay, equal jobs, for all women. It shouldn't just be men who are still getting paid highest, getting the better jobs. It should be a two-way street there.
Exactly. I definitely think it needs to be a two-way street, but like they had big celebrities there. They had a couple people from, I think, Orange is the New Black.
That's good to see. Good to hear that these celebrities were there promoting the event and supporting it.
And they're big like financial producers. They had a bunch of different women and men from different jobs, and I think that's something that really connects to different people. Like, being younger, of course, I was excited to see Kelly Clarkson. That was
Yeah.
There were certain speakers that I was excited for that were different than probably somebody who was twice my age. So I think it was an amazing event. They had great speakers. It was a great talk. It was great talks. If you want more information, you can type in S.H.E, then Summit into Google, and it comes up with their entire website, and you can really see what their mission is about, what they do, who their partners are, what the agenda was for those 2 days. So if you do want to go next year, or ask more about it, I think that's something that needs to, if you are interested, definitely go and look at this, because it's a great website. So I'm happy that I was able to go. I think more people should go next year.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good event, and I'm glad it was a good turnout, and maybe I'll be able to attend next year.
It's definitely like, it does give a lot to other people. So I think that's, it's giving a lot, not just to women, but it gives to men as well. And, having a stronger woman, does help, men progress a little bit. So, which I think is very cool. But when we come back, I think we'll talk a little bit about our entertainment stuff, because there was a lot of stuff that happened overnight. So
yeah,
especially with the Real Housewives, Dancing with the Stars, there's a lot of stuff that's gone on in entertainment wise. Mariah Carey is another big story that came out of the weekend as well.
And is tonight on Dancing with the Stars a special edition? Is it Halloween?
It's a Halloween edition. So
I knew it. Everything is Halloween themed today, and even our radio show as well, because I'm wearing scrubs. I picked these up over the weekend I went to Party City, and I was surprised they still had them stocked up. So
That's true.
yeah. So I keep saying this; it's probably getting corny now, but we're gonna scrub out and scrub back in a couple of minutes. So thanks for watching, as always, here on Monday morning on WICR, and we'll be right back with more.